for our engine, we've gone and bought quite a few new parts. Haven't bought everything we need yet, but we've started to buy and build up some of the things we need. Now, some of those things are things that I want to replace and upgrade. Others are things which are consumables and we should replace as part of an engine rebuild. My go-to place for parts is generally Recambio in the UK. Just because it supplies the majority of the parts I need. The delivery is next day, which I love, and I've got a good relationship with the owner, Franco. But there are the occasional bits which he either doesn't stock or things that I want that are specific, so I do use other retailers from time to time. But the majority of the bits here you'll see today are from Recambio, and where they're not, I'll just point out the differences. So the first bits that we've got on the table here that are not from Recambio is this, which is a new old stock head. So it's never been used. It's a 499cc head, and it's absolutely new. You can see it's never been skimmed before. All the threads are new, so they haven't been hacked about with. And one of the reasons why I'm replacing my old head is partly because nearly every single thread needed to be helicoiled or reground, and I didn't want that hassle. I didn't want the cost, and I didn't want it to be subpar. I want to make a nice head, so I bought this from Italy. Comes in a lovely original tatty box. Look at that, that's brilliant, love that. So that was one of the initial purchases I made. And then also we have this box here, which is full of stuff also from Italy. So this is Nani, or I think it's Nani Sport or Ricambi Sport. And the reason why I went to these people is because they do a particular kit for the 499cc that I wanted. So these are just gaskets in here, so I'll put those to the side at the moment. While I was buying some parts from them, they also do a nice balanced alloy fan. You see it's got Nani imprinted on there, so decided to get myself one of those. And then the other things that we got were, I'm upgrading from a standard 499cc to a 540cc, and you can get 540cc heads, pistons in the UK from suppliers like Recambio, but the reason why I went for these ones in particular is because they are a performance part, and unlike make sure I don't lose this part, let me just shake it out. It's just one of the circlips, don't want to have to replace that. So if you look at that, it's got a graduated head, which most of the UK ones don't have. Now this is also meant to, they say that you don't need a head gasket with this set as well, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, what a beautiful machined piston head that is, which I'm looking forward to installing and seeing what that difference. Obviously going from 499 to 540 is not a massive step. It's going to be about 10%, just under 10% power uplift, but I didn't want to take it away too much from original, so that was quite important to me. And then we've got two of those pistons. We've also got two of the piston guides as well, nicely honed, all ready to be installed, and they're 540s, and I don't need to do any work to the block for those. They fit on directly on to the block. Also in here I've got some new tappets, and I've got an upgraded upgraded camshaft. I can't remember what the specifics of the camshaft are. When we go to install it, I'll make sure that I talk about that. But it is a slightly increased cam lobe, which means that it raises and opens the actual valves slightly more. And then this is actually from Ricambi Fiat 500. These are sprung tubes, oil tubes, which house the oil tube that runs from the tappet to the actual rocker itself. So we got some of those upgraded as well. I really hate the standard ones, so I was looking for something a bit different. So these are going in the engine as well. So that's a lot of the kind of major internals of the engine, and let me just put it away before I open the next box. And as I mentioned, Ricambio is the one that I would go to normally, and because they just stock such a huge amount of parts, and the next day delivery as well, which is what I prefer. And in here we've got all kinds of things. So we've got gasket kit, which has all our gaskets and everything for our engine rebuild. So this is going to be used at various points in the process. We also have our engine timing kit with our new chain, and on this one I've gone for the vibration chain to make sure that, sorry, anti-vibration chain, to make sure that we don't get too many vibrations. They always provide new cogs as well, so we'll definitely be using those in the mix. And then in here we should have a load of parts. So here is a rebuild kit for my carb, which is a 26 Weather 26 carb. We've got the retaining pieces for that goes on the timing, one of the timing cogs. Then we got rear main bearing fixing kit. I like to replace these because I don't, a lot of the kind of screws and bolts and stuff, the threads get worn and not great. These are studs for the head, for the rocker cover. What else have we got in here? We've got front main bearing bolt kit. We have these sump. This is a sump kit here. We've got a new hollow bolt. We've got a gasket for the oil pump. We've got hardened valve seats which need to go in on that head because they won't have hardened valve seats. We got some fan gaskets. We've got the retaining thing for the hollow bolt there. We've got other bolt kits. I think this might be for the clutch, and this is for the flywheel, and another set which I'm not quite sure, they're possibly for the oil filter. I'll have to check those out. Then we've got for the head 2 hollow bolts for in case the head blows. We got rubbers for our engine bracket, and as always with Ricambio, and many thanks, my son loves these, we've got some Fiat 500 chocolates. So nice set of stuff there which will help us on the early stages of the rebuild. Haven't bought valves yet and things like that because I'm not sure whether I'm going to go increased valve size, and there's lots of other bits and pieces that I still need to get. One bit that I did struggle with, and I showed it in one of the other videos, is that this part of the oil filter and the pulley had a crack in this part of the shaft, so I ordered this. This was from a new company that hasn't been around too long. I can't remember what it's called. Fiatclassic.com. Well, I haven't seen it much, but I think it's based in Germany. And the reason why I got it from them is because they seem to be the only person who seem to have one of these in stock. So yep, bought that, got it shipped across, came today. So yeah, we are getting close to being ready to start looking at rebuilding. There is still a little chunk in between that we need to do, which is a lot of measuring to make sure that everything is good, and we might need to buy some more parts. So that's going to be the next phase of the build. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of bits, pieces to store and keep ready for the build ahead. Now, I wouldn't normally do kind of a box opening, kind of here all the bits I bought kind of thing, because where you buy your parts is entirely up to you. As I said, my preferred is Recambio, but you obviously see that I buy from other places when and where I need to, and if it's a specific thing that I want. But I just did it on the engine build because you can start to see there's a lot of considerations that you need to do and a lot of things you need to buy. A lot of people choose to reuse as much as possible. I'm trying to do that where I can, but some of the bits I just didn't want to keep, and I wanted to make sure that I'm building an engine that's going to work and be around for a long time, and I'm trying to build it to a really high specification as well. So I want to make sure that everything that I'm putting into it is nicely balanced, and is as good as it can be. I don't want to have to rebuild this in 2-3 years time because I chose to cut a corner. So yeah, not going to be videos of me opening boxes all the time, but for this engine build I think it's important that we show you what we're doing and what we're getting, and yeah, if you have any questions about any of the purchases or anything you see on this video, let me know and I'll try and help you out.